Now suppose you have a large data set consisting of various types of data, including phone numbers, email addresses, user identifiers, addresses, etc. Within this data set, you need to pick out specific strings. Now normally this would be pretty easy. You would just do grep-air, and then if you have multiple strings, you would do -e, one string, and then -e, another string, and so on. And that's it. You're done, right? You just hit enter and you wait. Well, not so fast. If the strings you are searching for are generic, common strings that appear in the data set hundreds or maybe even thousands of times, you will probably end up with a lot of false positives. This is especially true when you're searching on partial strings, like a few digits of a phone number or a few characters from an email address. So let's look at how you can use grep to find what you're looking for while cutting down on the noise. So let's start with a phone number. Let's say that you have a partial phone number that you want to find in your huge data set. And so this number starts with 470 followed by 5 unknown digits, and then it ends in 32. So you could use this grep command that you see here to locate this number. The number could be formatted just as above with the dashes, or it could have no dashes. So there could be between 5 and 7 digits or dashes between the 470 and the 32. By the way, this pattern you see in the grep command is what's called an extended regular expression. So we want to make sure that grep outputs only up to 100 characters before and after each match, as well as the line number. That's what that -n is for. This is going to make it easier to go back later and look at the context of the matches. So using this grep command, grep will recursively search all files starting in the current directory and output the results to a file. You can then take the output grep file and grep it further to find what you're looking for. Note, by the way, that redirecting the output to a file will mean that you will not see the output on screen. So if you don't want the redirect, just remove it. Keep in mind that the grep command will match non-phone strings. So if you have any kind of long random identifiers, it's going to match those as well. Now, if you're still getting too many false positives, you can filter more aggressively by excluding 0 and 1 from the first digit of the phone number prefix. This is better, but it's still going to match long strings of digits, and this is where we need to think about how the phone numbers are stored in our data sets. In a mixed structure data set, fields may be delimited by commas, single or double quotes, tabs, or even semicolons. So some trial and error is required here. Commas are a common delimiter, so you could try this command here, and this is probably going to work for a lot of different kinds of data sets. The command is almost identical to the one before it, but notice the commas before 470 and after the 32. Now to try a double quote delimiter, you're going to need to escape it using a backslash, like in this command. And to use a single quote delimiter, you're going to have to wrap the entire search string in double quotes and then escape the single quotes. There's actually no way to escape a single quote within a single quoted string. What about a tab delimiter? Well, just put an actual tab character in the search string, and Control-V plus tab should work for you, at least on Linux. All right, let's go down to the email address. Now, suppose you're looking for an email address with the pattern G*D@gmail.com, where the star is an unknown number of characters. So this is a wildcard. Now, this one's a lot trickier because unlike a phone number, email addresses do not follow a predictable format. So we're going to have to make some assumptions about the length of the address. Using this grep command here, this is going to match any string starting with G, followed by anywhere from 2 to 15 characters, and then followed by a D@gmail.com. The period, by the way, has to be escaped. Now, if you suspect that your mystery phone number and email might be connected in some way, like they may appear in the same record or at least in the same data set, you can try grepping against the output of the phone number search. So, for example, you use grep to search for your phone number, output that to a file, and then within that grep output, you can search for your email address. You may still end up with a lot of false positives, but at least you're narrowing things down. Now, by the way, if you have a lot of matches, you may want to just jump to one particular line of a file. You can do that using the sed command. This one right here will display line 116 of the file. Scrolling down a little more, let's talk about files with very, very long lines. Now, some data sets have extremely long lines, and I mean like billions of characters on a single line, and this makes it a little bit difficult to browse through without a lot of horizontal scrolling. This is especially true of SQL database dumps. What we need here is a way to jump straight to the interesting string, and here is how we do it. Let's say database.sql is a single line text file, so consider this grep command here. The -b flag prints the byte offset from the beginning of the file, allowing us to jump straight to the start of the match. Now suppose grep returns an offset of something like 4 billion, okay, 4 billion bytes. We want to see 100 characters before and after the start of the matching string, and to do that we will use the dd command. Here in this dd command, if is the input file, skip is the byte offset to start reading that, and notice by the way here that I subtracted 100 from the offset that was reported by grep. Count is the number of bytes to read after the offset. So basically this is going to let you kind of start at that position in the file, and you're just looking a little bit to the left and to the right so you can get a little bit of context and know what you're looking at. So this command should display your match in context, and of course you can adjust it to narrow it down even more, or you can expand it out to see more context if it's not showing you enough.